Jacci Reed's mother shook her awake, then put her fingers lightly over Jackie's lips. "Shh, we have to get off the boat." Her mother's eyes were wide in the light of the lantern she held. Jackie wanted to ask why, but instead she sat up and felt for her shoes with her toes. Her mother shook her head and pulled her off the bed. "No time!" But she didn't fuss when Jackie grabbed her sock doll. Her mother left the lantern on the table without even blowing it out. At 5, Jackie had been warned so often about a candle or lantern being upset and catching the boat on fire that now she feared the room might explode in flames before they got out of the door. Her mother led Jackie out into the passageway. Not a sound. She sounded scared. Jackie's mother never got scared. She was always the one to help Jackie not be afraid when thunder boomed over the river or floods made the steamboat bounce in funny ways. So now, Jackie bit her lip and didn't cry out when her mother squeezed her hand so tight her fingers hurt. The fear coursed between their hands, and Jackie's heart pounded up in her ears. Maybe the boat was on fire already, and they would have to jump in the river to escape. But she didn't smell smoke as she hurried to keep up with her mother's fast steps. Her nightgown flapped against her legs. Her mother never let her go out on the steamboat deck without putting on a dress. Ever. She couldn't swim. Maybe she wouldn't have to. They were at the dock. She'd watched the crew tie up their steamboat earlier and listened to the roustabouts sing while they unloaded barrels and crates. She'd stayed hidden up on the top deck while the fancy men and women headed out down the gangplank. The women wore hats with ribbons and feathers. The men carried gold-knobbed canes. Even better than that was the sound of a calliope drifting down the river that meant a showboat was on the way. When it docked right beside their boat, she clapped her hands. She never got to go to the shows, but she loved to watch the actors coming and going. Sometimes they played music and sang. By the time the river swallowed up the sun, people were streaming up onto the boat to see the show. She did so wish she could be one of them, but her mother would never allow it. Instead, she had found Jackie and made her go to bed. Now, as Mama hurried her up to the main deck, Jackie could hear music spilling out of the showboat. Lively music, and then laughter.